We're at headquarters right now, socially distant. That is Amelia and Sue. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How are you?
We're doing
We're
all right.
wonderful.
Well, that's good to hear. This is, at least it feels like spring now.
Yes,
You know?
it does.
And I understand that you've put together some beverages that might kind of accentuate this warmer, sunny weather.
Yes, I did. I chose 3 wines, particularly that I thought were wonderful for wines of spring/summer. And then, of course, we're going to finish with the Malbec because April 17th is National Malbec Day.
Okay. Oh, I didn't even know we had a pending holiday. I have to get a card or something to send out. All right, so I would imagine in this weird time right now, we know that people, I know because Guy and I have both been to stores. We've been to Total Wines and different places. People are enjoying beverages at home and getting to maybe try stuff they haven't tried before, right?
Yes, they are. Wine sales are good.
Well, this is good news. All right, you were kind enough to have a guy in a hazmat suit deliver 4 bottles to us. They're sanitized and ready to rumble. Where are we starting, Sue?
We're going to start with the Pirate Chardonnay.
All right.
The label is a painting by Michelle Connors, who is the owner and president of SR Prat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the painting is called Shrimp Boat, Shrimp Wrecked.
Well, I really like that. I love it. It's got fireworks and a sailing vessel that actually looks like it's still afloat, so that's good.
Yes, and this is a wine that's made exclusively for SR Prat in Lodi, California. It is 100% Chardonnay, and it is a non-vintage. And what does non-vintage means? It just means that the grapes could be sourced and blended from several different vintages or years of crops. So that's why we call it a non-vintage. And it is 13% alcohol. It's clean and smooth and crisp.
Oh, it is.
Has a little tasting notes. Take a big smell of that wine before you taste, gentlemen.
Exactly. Yes, you taught us well.
Yes, it has tasting notes of green apple, sliced pears, and citrus with good minerality.
I got a little bit of tart out of it. Yeah.
Guy, you always have had a good palate.
Thank you.
And this is probably light to medium bodied, I'd say.
Okay. All right. And this is, and I feel like, even though you can look at a white wine and say, oh, that would be good for spring, but it isn't necessarily the color that does it. It's the contents, right?
Correct. It's the content. And in spring and summer, we tend to drink more lighter bodied wines, hence more white wines. We want something cold more so than we want room temperature.
Now, a lot of times I will look at a wine when I'm in a wine mood. I'll look at a wine and I'll try to figure out if I'm looking for a white wine. Lightness and is the visual character enough? Can you kind of judge a wine by its look in the bottle sometimes as far as color goes? I know obviously white, they're separated that way, but can you tell that it's going to be nice and light and crisp, or is that not uniform?
No, I think that's a great question. In fact, yes, you can. If you look at bottles of Moscato or bottles of Pinot Grigio, they are the lightest in color. There's more whiteness to them, whereas a bottle of Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc has more golden hues.
Okay, good deal. All right, see, if you're going shopping today, so some tips from Sue you might want to pick up. And you can also go to srprod.com/sippin with Sue. That's right.
Yes, and this wine can be purchased at Wine Not in the trails in Ormond Beach, and they are still open for business.
Well, that's good news too. That's true. I'm glad you mentioned that because right now we want to make sure we get the word out to every single place that you can track down some of these fine SR products.
Yes.
All right, we have another bottle. This label just jumped at me. This looks like what I would want my pants and shoes to look like. It is a describe this pastel joy wine that we're about to enjoy.
Okay, well, the Joy Sauvignon Blanc, again, is a painting by Michelle Connors. I do want to add that this wine has 20% of the proceeds being donated to the Kyle and Samantha Bush Foundation. And yes, that is Kyle Bush, the race car driver, and they have an infertility foundation. So 20% of the proceeds goes to that. And this again is a Sauvignon Blanc, again, non-vintage, meaning the grapes came from several different vintages, 12% alcohol, and it has some tasting notes of grapefruit and green apple with some mineral accents.
I'm enjoying I hoped that label, which I enjoyed a lot, would yield the flavor that I enjoy. It's doing its job. It's great for me. Absolutely bringing my tongue joy, for sure.
I do like this one a lot.
Now and of course, Kurt Busch is having to sit at home right now because there's no race. There's everybody no racing, although the virtual racing online is happening. I'm not sure if Kurt is involved in this weekend's race or not, but if he is, I'm going to grab a bottle of this and enjoy it during the broadcast of the computer-generated NASCAR race this weekend.
Well, that's a great idea, and you can purchase the Joy Sauvignon Blanc at, again, Why Not, in the Trails in Ormond Beach. It can also be purchased at Perrines in Port Orange on Clyde Morris.
And if you're not sure where to find those, go to srprod.com.
Correct.
The wine is in there as well.
Yeah, that Perrines location, I get lost in there, Sue, in a good way. I go in there and I just want to get some oranges and maybe some bananas and stuff, and then I start looking at their wine selection and their beer selection. It is mesmerizing.
Oh, it's a great store. Oh, I have so many friends that are shopping there. They just love it.
Sippin with Sue on the srprod.com website. There, you can watch these things come to life. But right now, you just have to use your imagination here on the radio. And I know Sue and Amelia are sitting in the conference room at SR Prod, in the sipping room, and we're about to try a couple more wines. And if you stare directly at that speakerphone that you're hearing us through,
yes.
Imagine Guy and I sitting here in bathrobes. Huh? He's not kidding. Yeah, we can relax. There's not a lot of people in the building. All right, socially distant but not flavor distant. Where are we going next?
Okay, we are now migrating into a rosé, which is always the perfect segue when you're going into red wine next. So we have a rosé that's called Emotion, and this is from the Ventoux Winery in Southern Rhone Valley, France, specifically the Provence region. And the French are known for their exquisite rosés. This happens to be a blend of Grenache, Syrah, Carignan, and Cinsault. It is fruity and floral and clean, and it is perfect to enjoy 3 years from the date of harvest. So we're right there. This is a 2017 vintage.
It is wonderful. It is nice and fruity.
The first time I had any rosé, it was, and Sue, you might correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was like a champagne rosé. I think it was a different thing. But I much more enjoy the flavor of a rosé in wine than I do in like some sort of blend or champagne.
Yes, and also, Riggs, if you're drinking a rosé champagne, more than often that is made from the Pinot Noir grape.
Oh, really?
Yes, if it is a true champagne from the Champagne region in France,
oh, wow.
That comes from the Pinot Noir grape.
I got spoiled when I had that. I have no idea. This is, and by the way, the label of this reminds me of, because we're deprived of the Olympics this summer, because they
Yes.
pushed it back for a year. And so that ribbon reminds me of that, the rhythmic gymnastics where they do the ribbon thing. That's what it's making me think of right now as I enjoy this wine.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
it does.
Yeah. And so, and Guy, if you'll kindly take this ribbon and recreate that for us now.
This looks to me like it belongs on a table at a wedding.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And if you'll notice, the French rosés are always fruity and floral. I would never call the French rosés very sweet. However, we do produce some sweet rosés in this country, particularly out in Sonoma and Napa.
Right. Is that just because, is that a regional grape situation? Is that what makes that? that way.
It also has to do not so much with just region, but how long the grapes stay on the vine. The later the harvest, the sweeter the wine.
Okay. Ooh, whoa, that sounds like it's being on a T-shirt right there, Sue. I think we might have some merchandising. The later the harvest, the sweeter the wine. All right, somebody write that down. We're going to write a song about that later, too. Sad but not least, we have our final sample of the day. Sue, where are we going next?
We're going to the Malbec. This is from the Mairena winery in the Mendoza region of Argentina. And April 17th is National Malbec Day.
Oh, today is National Malbec Day, God!
That's right.
Yeah.
Nobody got us a card or anything, but we probably should have got you guys a card.
Right up my alley right here.
We'll use this bottle as a card.
We brought you the gift of Malbec wine for Malbec World Day, of course.
That is the right way to celebrate it, Amelia. You're right, and this is very generous. Guys, for being very generous toward you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
This is one of our very, very popular wines. Again, like I said, it is from the Mendoza region, which is the largest wine producing region in France. It's a 2017 vintage. It has some tasting notes of, some violet hues, fruits, and exotic flowers such as violets. It's got intense flavor with a long mineral finish, and Malbecs are wonderfully to be paired with beef and red meats because the Argentinians are some of the largest consumers of red meat and steaks. So this wine pairs beautifully with that.
It smells awesome.
Would it be safe to say that the color of the wine should be consumed with the color of the meat? So if it's red meat, red wine. If it's white meat like fish or chicken.
Yes, that has always been historically the rule, Guy. However, in the wine world, they're trying to say that sometimes the rules don't have to be as rigid as they once were, that you should enjoy whatever wine you like with whatever food you're eating. But yes, that has been historically, the red wines pair well with pork, lamb, beef, where the white wines pair well with poultry and fish.
Because is it heresy to use a wine like this to marinate, if you're making steaks?
Oh no, I think that's a great idea, Riggs. I think that's a great idea.
I want to do that right now, guys. If you can just give me a pan. I already got the steak over here. Wow, what a great palette of flavors to enjoy today. And again, now these last two we can find same place, I assume, Sue?
Well, the Emotion Rosé, you can find at Wine Not in the Trails. Also, believe it or not, we have a huge, wonderful display of wine, and this is also at the 7-Eleven in Ponce Inlet on A1A. We have a beautiful end cap display, and you can find Emotion Rosé and the Mairena Malbec there. You can also find the Mairena Malbec at Wine Not in the Trails, as well as Perrines in Ormond Beach.
All right.
Well, this is that'll be what a great treat for those people who are rolling into that 7-Eleven. You think you're just going to go buy whatever you can find? You're actually getting some good quality wine.
Oh my gosh, yes. We believe it or not, we have 40 of our wines on a beautiful end cap display in that store. And the people in those condominiums down there are really enjoying some really high quality wines right now.
I'm told we can't do that. Okay.
I was not born yesterday.
Well, listen, it's you certainly have made it. National Malbec Day is today. I didn't even know we'd be celebrating today. Now we have a reason, and great flavors for all four of those. And again, you can go to srparat.com/beerfinder and find them. Sippin' with Sue, the videos right there as well. In addition to your Facebook videos, you can track those down at the srparat.com website.
Cheers!
Cheers!
Hey, cheers! Hey, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.